Hello, my name is Emily, as you may or may not know, and today we are going to be talking about Valentine's Day, a day for love, flowers, and conceiving Scorpios. My birthday is literally November 14th, so you do the math. Hey, let's ask the audience. Right? Mom, Dad, I'm glad that you guys had a great Valentine's Day in 1998. As we know it today, Valentine's Day is classically thought of as a holiday to celebrate romance, right? To celebrate these couples with their hearts bursting full of love and their wallets, well, empty. And then of course people can also celebrate platonic love, right? Because that's just as important as romantic love, but a lot of the times, I think for the single people out there, Valentine's Day can kind of feel like the world turning around and pointing its finger at you and saying, sit in the corner and think about what you've done. Which in many cases is nobody. So before we get into the modern perspectives of Valentine's Day and, the commercialism and capitalism of it all, I do want to talk about the history of Valentine's Day for a moment because I just think it's interesting and I want to. So, sue me. I will say the history of Valentine's Day does seem to be a little bit murky, right? Things aren't super definitive, but some of the lore includes this. Saint Valentine performing secret marriages for lovers after marriage was outlawed because Emperor Claudius II decided that single men were more viable to be soldiers than married men with families. So basically, the emperor was an advocate for the male loneliness epidemic. Another legend says that Valentine may have been executed for attempting to help Christians escape Roman prisons, and while he was in prison, he sent the first ever Valentine after he fell in love with a young girl, possibly his jailer's daughter. And knowing how men were back then and even now, I'm sure the girl was certainly young. While some believe that Valentine's Day is celebrated in the middle of February to commemorate the anniversary of Valentine's death or burial, others claim that the Christian church may have decided to place St. Valentine's feast day during this time to Christianize the pagan celebration of Lupercalia, which was a fertility festival dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture. To begin the festival, members of Luperci, an order of Roman priests, would gather at a sacred cave where the infants Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome, were believed to have been cared for by a she-wolf or lupa, and I'm not talking Shakira, right? The priests would sacrifice a goat for fertility, a dog for purification. Then they would strip the goat's hide into strips and dip them into the sacrificial blood and take to the streets, gently slapping both women and crop fields with the goat hide. Far from being fearful, Roman women welcomed the touch of the hides because it was believed to make them more fertile for the coming year. Later in the day, according to legend, all of the young women in the city would place their names in a big urn. The city's bachelors would choose a name and become paired with, for the year, his chosen woman. These matches often ended in marriage. I mean, what a day. Get slapped with bloody goat hide and also find a husband? I mean, wow. And obviously, while talking about the history and symbolism of Valentine's Day, right, I gotta give it up for Cupid. We gotta mention the big guy Cupid, right? Which actually, we picture him as a little guy, but he actually was a big guy, right? Cupid is the Roman version of the Greek god Eros. And while nowadays we picture Cupid as like this cute little cherub with wings shooting people at random, very American of him, the original Cupid was actually more of a mischievous teenage heartthrob rather than like a cute little well-meaning baby. According to Time magazine, traced back to 700 BC, this character of legend was called Eros, Martin explains, the Greek word for desire. He would play with the hearts of mortals and gods to cause mayhem. Depicted as a young man in his late teens, he was considered both handsome and threatening. Common combination, as he would use his power to make people fall in love. And then eventually down the line, Cupid has a rebrand, right? Buccal fat removal.
I meant insertion.
Baby transformation. And it was probably a good thing for this cute image to sort of be popularized, right, in terms of marketing and commercialism, because I think it is a bit more marketable to have this image of Cupid as a cute little baby wanting to spread love and joy and romance, rather than the original figure of Cupid who was, and I quote, a mischievous teenager who was feared for striking people down with love and making them fall for the wrong people, sometimes ending in tragedy. So basically, he's not a good dude, right? He is not the type of Cupid that I think people nowadays would want to encounter.
So, what do you do for fun? Okay, nosy bitch. Oh. Just like my ex. For real. Who I cheated on tons of times, by the way. Deserved. But, shit, I like writing. I try to write at least like once a day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I was actually writing 30 times daily on this alpha male Reddit page that I'm really dedicated to, but honestly, it was taking too much time away from my job. So I only post once now.
Oh. And what is your job exactly?
I make those fake AI phone calls that sound like your loved ones, right? I target old people to scam them out of their money. And it actually works like a ton of the time because they're really fucking stupid. So, yeah. I'm honestly really ageist, so.
Okay, I think that I'm
This
just
is
gonna
funny as fuck.
pay for this entire date and everything and anything you ever want. God, I love you, baby.
Yo, you sound so pathetic. Wow, that's funny as fuck.
I don't know what the hell you just did, but thank you for making me realize that the soulmate that I've been looking for has been right in front of me all along.
Oh, of course. I'm Cupid. It's like what I do, right? This guy, he's gonna be great for you. And society in general, for sure.
I can't wait to start financing our wedding, which of course is going to be very expensive and very soon. Are you good at budgeting, babe?
No.
Of course you're not. It can be hard to minimize expenses, especially during large life changes like moving or marriage. But thank God we have today's sponsor, Rocket Money, to help.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you lower your bills, cancel unwanted subscriptions, and manage your money better.
Okay, I guess you're in on this too. All right. I'm using Rocket Money to cancel any unwanted subscriptions I might have, and trust me, they can pile up, okay? It can be hard to keep track of which services you're using or not using. And being charged little by little every single month can make it easy to disregard how things can add up. Rocket Money can safely and securely identify recurring charges and cancel any unwanted subscriptions that you may have with just a couple of taps, okay? No need to worry about customer service calls.
I'm also using Rocket Money to help me with my spending habits. Rocket Money can analyze my spending and then help create a custom budget that fits me and my lifestyle.
You can automatically monitor your spending by category and get notified whenever you exceed your spending limits.
Rocket Money has helped save its members up to $740 annually when using all of the app's premium features, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So Rocket Money can help me manage my finances better.
Yes, exactly. You're so smart, babe.
And to save more and spend less, I should join the over 5 million members of Rocket Money today.
Yeah, actually. Well, that's weird that you just know that off the top of your head. Make sure to join the over 5 million members of Rocket Money to save more and spend less today. Go to rocketmoney.com/notevenemily or click the link below in my description to get started for free.
And you can unlock even more features with premium. And again, go to rocketmoney.com/notevenemily or click the link in the description below to get started for free. Nice. I have a feeling you're gonna need this because he seems like quite the expense, so... yeah. Also love what you're doing with the old people.
I appreciate you, bro.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, probably best to do away with the toxic, chaotic version of Cupid because he probably isn't as marketable and, beneficial for the commercialism of the holiday. Though, who knows, right? Because women love toxic men sometimes, as we've observed in society. So yeah, maybe that asshole would have driven up the US economy. But anyways, having discussed the history of Valentine's Day, I think it's safe to say that it didn't originate as some sort of capitalistic ploy, right? I think people were too busy being imprisoned, fighting in battles, getting beheaded, or being slapped on the arse with goat hide. However, in modern times, of course, companies and brands have taken advantage of this occasion because why wouldn't they? They are a corporation. And what are corporations if not to make obscene amounts of money if they can? And of course, Valentine's Day is a great time to get people to spend more money than they usually would because of the societal pressure associated with the holiday, right? Which we will get to later. But also, being in love, the part of your brain that is telling you that you need to budget, it puts it on mute. When they say being in a relationship is expensive, yeah. being in a relationship, keeping the spark alive. You know how we're keeping the spark alive? We're using $100 bills as kindling. I'm usually a pretty frugal person, right? I really only thrift. I don't really care about, designer brands and stuff like that. I'm the type of person to use everything I have until it's literally not functional anymore. But when I'm in love, and if my girlfriend wants a $600 pair of shoes, I'm like, yeah, that sounds reasonable. If I'm in love with a woman and she says, oh, I love this restaurant, but it's kind of expensive, it's kind of just like, okay, well, you're not the one paying, so what does it matter? I asked you if you liked the cuisine, not the numbers next to the said cuisine. And I know, obviously, not everyone has the privilege of holding that attitude, right? Being able to treat your significant other to things and have, this inclination to spend money on them and actually execute it, of course, that is, a privileged place to be. But I think a lot of people who are in happy, healthy relationships can relate to me when I say that, whether it's on Valentine's Day or not, when you're in love, saving money isn't always the easiest thing.
Could you explain this $24,000 charge for me, please?
Round trip first class tickets to Paris.
Right. Do you remember that discussion we had where we agreed that you should start saving money?
Yeah. But she wanted a croissant.
I did. I wanted it. So that's ridiculous, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I would like you to read this charge for me. What does that say?
$150,000.
So why?
Birkin bag for Bay.
Okay. I'm going to be earnest here. I feel like I failed you as your financial advisor, right? I need you guys to understand something. You guys are broke. Like, you should be concerned. Okay? I mean, I guess this is another thing that you guys can go through as a couple.
Yay.
Okay, do you guys remember what I said at our last session?
No spending over $10,000 unless it's for ransom.
And?
Even if she's being held for ransom, I should give the captors your business email because it's okay to negotiate with terrorists if it means we'll save a little bit of money.
Exactly. Now I know that your guys' anniversary is coming up, and quite frankly, I'm scared for what's about to happen. So I'm going to be freezing your guys' bank account and credit scores.
When you're in love, it's kind of like you're hypnotized in a way, right? So that makes you susceptible for companies to take advantage of you. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I am going to read off some Valentine's Day spending statistics for you, right? In 2024, consumer spending for Valentine's Day totaled around $25.8 billion. Billion with a bubba, right? Yowza. Roughly 92% of Americans say they plan to share chocolate and candy for Valentine's Day this year, meaning 2024, because this is when that article was published. In 2023, Valentine's Day chocolate candy sales exceeded 4 billion. According to the Society of American Florists, it is estimated that more than 250 million roses are produced for Valentine's Day. In 2022, 22% of Americans bought fresh flowers or plants as gifts for the occasion. Should I start over? In 2022, 22% of Americans bought fresh flowers or plants as gifts for the occasion. This singular day making for a profit of $2.3 billion. And then Miss Capital One Shopping states that shoppers spend the most money on Valentine's Day on jewelry, $6.4 billion, which, this makes sense because jewelry is a more expensive gift option, unless you don't mind getting your partner shitty jewelry. Now, obviously, these specific industries are going to see higher profit margins on Valentine's Day because these are common gifts to be giving to your partner, right? But companies that have nothing to do with love or romance also try to cash in on this holiday, right? It doesn't matter what company you are. Try to find a way to capitalize on, it reminds me of Pride in a way where it's like, everyone just wants to put their hand in, which, you're obviously allowed to do that. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I actually have a whole video on that, right? But Just thinking about companies that have nothing to do with something trying to appease the general public in regards to that thing. You know, like now Adidas is selling dental dams for Pride, you know? And in relation to Valentine's Day, let's talk about a few examples. A brand made a pheromone-infused underwear for people to tempt their significant others away from their gaming consoles so that they can pay more attention to them, specifically on Valentine's Day. Now, obviously, this is more of a joke gift than a sincere one, I would guess, right? You know, sort of, haha, LOL, boyfriend, look at me, I'm wearing this underwear because, you know, you're always so busy with those buttons. I think you're forgetting the most important one that you can't seem to find. Another example, there was a McDonald's ad where someone was proposing with a Big Mac, which is, of course, every woman's dream. Pizza Hut had a $10,010 engagement package that came with a red ruby ring, limo service, flowers, a fireworks show, photographer, videographer, and a $10 dinner box. I just wonder if anyone actually bought this, right? Because it's not my engagement being sponsored by Pizza Hut. I'm just imagining being proposed to and not knowing that it has anything to do with Pizza Hut and kind of just going on throughout my night like, why is there kind of a motif of Pizza Hut tonight? Why did I get into the limo and there's a neon sign with the Pizza Hut logo? The Bronx Zoo had a deal where you could name a Madagascar hissing cockroach after your loved one. I'm just gonna read a little bit of the poster, right? Can't decide on what to get that special someone for Valentine's Day? Sometimes the answer is all around us, and right where it's been for millions of years, like cockroaches. How better to express your appreciation for that special someone than to name a Madagascar hissing cockroach after them? Well, I never thought of it like that. I feel like this is something you would do more for an ex, right? I mean, this is like if the MTA was like, name a New York City sewer rat after your loved one. Huh? So it's clear that any brand or institution, even if they're not directly related to love or relationships, I think obviously food companies have an easy time doing Valentine's Day marketing. But for many companies, you know, it's sort of this thing of, we don't care how we have to spin it, how we have to frame it. This Valentine's Day, let's make our profit margin fatter.
This Valentine's Day, keep your relationship flowing at SeaWorld. Get an exclusive couples package and you'll get a special blowhole treatment. Need a special gift for that special someone? Look no further than Schlumberger Fracking. Tap into her heart like we tap into oil. With Schlumberger's Valentine's Day fracking package, you can get 3 milliliters of oil inserted into a sterling silver necklace. Looking to try something new this Valentine's Day? Marquise's Deluxe Luxury Enemas are now 3 for the price of 1, just for your special night. That's right, anal. Call this number to secure your package now at 1-800-Marquise's Deluxe Luxury Enemas for your special night. Yep, that's right, it's exactly what you're thinking, anal.
That is so... But also, let me be clear. Whoa, that was kind of good. I'm not one of those people who's like, Valentine's Day is stupid. We should just love each other every day of the year. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because it's a corporate scheme. It's a corporate. If you celebrate Valentine's Day, you are complicit in the hellscape of capitalism, and you are nothing more but a cog in the consumerism machine. Of course, that would be my response to my girlfriend if she asked me for a flower. Because yes, while it is true that Valentine's Day can be a, marketing tactic to an extent, that doesn't mean that I still can't make my loved ones feel special. Two things can exist at once. And I do think it's cute to see pink and red and hearts everywhere, right? And I even felt that way when I was a cynic, right? I was like, yeah, fuck love and fuck romance, but I sure as hell love the aesthetic. And sure, you can make the argument that making your loved one feel special shouldn't be designated to a specific day, but, yes, you should make your partner feel good on all days, which includes Valentine's Day. For people who are in healthy relationships, it's like, yeah, no, buddy, I'm making my partner feel special throughout the year. It's not like once Valentine's Day is over, we're treating each other like shit. This was such a perfect night. Thank you so much for the hand-painted vase. I can't wait to put my flowers in it. Of course. Thank you for the scrapbook and the plushie. It's so cute. You are one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. Can you stop breathing so loud?
I'm not breathing loud.
Yes, you are.
Fuck you, bitch.
It's annoying. It's distracting. Okay, I'm trying to concentrate on swiping up on other girls' Instagram stories.
Okay, well, you're distracting me from swiping too. Okay, Tinder is harder to swipe on than Instagram.
Yeah, well, I understand why swiping could be hard for you because you never know what to do with your fingers.
I'm glad your dog died.
I wish yours would.
I don't think that celebrating Valentine's Day is pointless. Okay, I acknowledge the consumerism part of it because trust and believe that is a part of it, but I think it's also nice to take the opportunity to do something nice for your loved one in addition to the rest of the year. And with all that being said, what I will say is that Valentine's Day is just as much a cause for celebration as it is for stress sometimes, okay? There is a certain pressure to perform on Valentine's Day, right? I think the last thing people want is for their partner to feel disappointed or underwhelmed. You know, I'm not necessarily one for grand gestures. I think that, of course, I always appreciate them, but I've been with people who were super into grand gestures. And because they liked them, they were also really good at making them, right? So I felt this pressure to be like, damn, I gotta kick it into gear, you know? If you're with someone with, you know, high expectations and expensive taste, yeah, that'll get your blood pressure up. That'll do it. That'll get you opening an entire different savings account just for their birthday gift, right? And listen, I'm not saying that this is a bad way to be. This is not shade, okay? People are allowed to like grand gestures. There's obviously value to them, right? But I do remember having a conversation about Valentine's Day that basically went like this.
My friend is so mad because her man barely did anything for her for Valentine's Day. She's pissed.
Oh, God. What did he do?
Here, look, she sent me a video. This is barely anything? I mean, I guess it's not the worst, but it's just so bleh, you know? It's so whatever. Yeah. This is so whatever. It's so bad. I could do so much better than this. Just you wait, babe. It's gonna be... Just take it.
Because Valentine's Day and consumerism are so intertwined nowadays, it's like you are constantly feeling like you aren't doing enough. And social media is also a huge part of that. Now you're able to see all of the different grand gestures that people are doing all across the world, right? You know, there's always going to be someone who bought them a more expensive dinner, who got them prettier jewelry, who got them the fluffier handcuffs or the lacier panties. Or it can be the other way around and you feel like your partner isn't doing enough for you now because it's like, well, I just saw this girl online get a 24 karat diamond fucking tampon string, a Cartier chain tampon string, and what did you get me? A box of chocolates? Big fucking whoop-de-doo. The social media and comparison aspect that has been added onto not only the holiday of Valentine's Day, but just onto relationships in general, you know, that only helps fuel the, you know, capitalism, the consumerism of it all. You know, if capitalism were a person, I'm certain they would be commenting on every single couple's post like, you know, if he truly loved you, he would have made those solid gold earrings a carat or two more. So I'm sure this is not news to anyone, right? But when people think about Valentine's Day as a sort of marketing ploy, social media has only pushed that agenda much further.
Hi, yes, so basically I am a federal Valentine's Day vlogger, which basically means that I am a content creator employed by the US government to drive up sales and drive up the economy during the month of February and basically do my best to make people feel insecure in their relationships and like they're not doing enough. And you know, some people are surprised to know, but I am actually asexual and aromantic, but I love money. So every Valentine's Day, I clock into Instagram and I clock into TikTok and I basically just brag about how much my partner spends on me for Valentine's Day. And this partner is, of course, also employed by the US military, actually. Usually I'm given some sort of script by this guy who works on like Wall Lane, something like that. I know a lot of people might think, hey, you're aromantic and asexual, so wouldn't this be kind of difficult for you? But like I said, I love making people feel bad about themselves, and I love lying. So this job is literally fucking perfect for me. And you know, I always make sure to practice my lines to make things sound as natural as possible. If he wanted to, he would. My boyfriend got me this $3,000 purse. That's how I know he loves me. My boyfriend got me this. If he's broke, it means he doesn't love you enough. If you're watching this, this is a sign. If you're watching, my boyfriend loves me. Yours hates you.
My boyfriend loved me and yours hates you.
I mean, at the core of it all, I really am just inspiring people to do better, right? And I also get great benefits from the US government. I would say my benefits are even better than veterans. And I of course think I deserve it.
But the good thing about relationships is that to make it work, you have to be honest and communicate openly with each other, right? So hopefully everyone is, has an understanding of what people are able to give and what each expects to receive, right? And you don't need to spend a lot of money to have a good Valentine's Day, right? I think that as long as you're with people or the person that you love, it shouldn't really matter too much. And I think most people, agree with that. I don't think people are going to be commenting down below like, well, actually, if you're poor, you shouldn't experience love. So, in conclusion, sure. Valentine's Day is clenched by the claws of capitalism, but what isn't? We're all under its claw, being clenched harder than Kegels. But of course, what's even more important than showing the people in your life that you love them is watching my videos. That's basically the lesson here, right? So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you had a good Valentine's Day, whether you are taken or single, and that's it. Until next time.
Whatever the fuck, I just think they're old and dumb. Kind of ageist.
Tap into her heart like we tap into oil with Schlumberger's Valentine. Need a gift for that special someone? Look no further than Schlumberger.